So today is part two of Phuntsok's conversation, dialogue, teaching around dreams and Buddhism and dream yoga. So following up on a couple Thursdays ago. And as always, these teachings, just a reminder for anybody who's watching, happen every other Thursday, and they are donation-based. And I'll put a couple links in the chat if you want to donate. And they come from Phuntsok's many years as a monk and his many years on this planet. And if you didn't see 2 weeks ago, it'll be up soon. I promise to upload it. And you can watch that in conjunction with this as well. So with that, I'll pass it over to you, Phuntsok. Thank you so much for following up on last session. There was a lot that came up that I think many of us were interested in learning more about.
All right, thank you very much. Again, every time, especially the 15 minutes when I'm setting up and I'm finding out, wait a minute, I've been doing it for so long, and still the 15 minutes, it seems like I'm doing it for the first time, trying to set up the audio, making sure that the microphone is on, the cameras are on, and I'm finding that to be a lot already. And I have to be very grateful to people who are making this possible, recording and uploading, and of course Nizam, and writing the invites, and I guess I can't be grateful enough to Liz for giving this a beautiful structure, even though I'm doing my best, not intentionally, to destroy it. It's not intentional, okay? But I acknowledge that my behavior is not, some of my behavior is not helping to keep this very beautiful structure that Liz set up, okay? But doesn't mean I'm giving up. All right, at least I'm showing up at least 2 minutes before or after, rather than at midnight. Yes, okay, so tonight we are gonna go a bit deeper into dream yoga. I mentioned a couple of things last time about how to begin the process and what's involved. Tonight I will go a bit more into some of those techniques, and also I would like to go into sort of like some of the experiences that are possible in dream yoga. So dream yoga encompasses, there's also, even though the psychological aspect of it is not stressed, at least in the beginning within Tibetan Buddhism, but it's not like it's completely dispensed. It's just, I was having a conversation with someone about this, and reminded me of the Tibetan form or practice of dream yoga when it comes to the psychological interpretation of the psychological aspects of it. It's really like, if you're not serious about making changes in your life, then there's no need to even venture into interpreting your dreams, because your dreams are mainly just regurgitation of what you've been mindlessly doing in a day. But when you've consciously stepped on the path, then your dreams really have meaning, and your dreams need for you to interpret them, investigate them, because they are guides to what is happening and what will be happening. Okay. All right. So we're going to do our meditation. 15 minutes, I hope. I'm always hoping 15 minutes, but it's always end up being more than that. I don't know why I even need this timer for people. I disregard it, and then you can't hear it when it rings. Okay, so we'll just do a very sort of mindful kind of meditation. Keeping this consideration in your mind in every moment, there is an opportunity of infinite potential. In every moment, the opportunity for infinite potential. And that transformative experience is ready at every moment. Every moment is an opportunity to encounter that transformative experience. Okay. So just hold that in your mind as we make this definite conscious intention to enter meditation. Allow your entire being to respond to your intention. Your body already knows what meditation is. It knows how to be. So you can go as deep as you can in the meditation. So listen to the intelligence in the body. Let it guide you. How should your legs be? And as you bring awareness to the legs, notice the signs already beginning to arise, connected to calm, connected to pleasantness, connected to clarity, connected to radiance, connected to collecting of attention or focus. Each of these have their physical counterpart or their physical correspondent parts experienced in the physical body itself. So connect to the legs, let the intelligence guide you how it should be. And once you place it, once you begin to touch those experiences, those signs, rejoice, and then bring awareness to the torso. Let the back, the spine be upright, but not uptight. And feel the signs in the back, in the torso. And once you feel confident with the torso, the posture of the torso, you feel the signs present in whatever measure, then bring attention, bring awareness to your arms, shoulders, hands, and fingers. Let that intelligence guide you how you should place your hands, how you should place your fingers. And let how you place your hands be somewhat of a subconscious reminder in case you are wondering, you're leaving the meditative space, that if your attention goes to your hands, they will immediately remind you you're not just sitting down, you're meditating. And once you feel confident with the posture as far as the arms are concerned, then bring attention to the head and neck. Think center. And do whatever you need to do so that you feel that the head and neck are centered. You're not consciously holding them in place. And then bring attention to the mouth, teeth, tongue. Let them rest in their natural places. And even in the mouth, teeth, tongue, notice the signs also appearing there, the calm, the signs connected to pleasantness, the signs connected to clarity, radiance, focus. And upon encountering any measure of them, rejoice, welcome them. The muscles of the face, the forehead, and lastly, your eyes. And whatever that intelligence tells you to adopt that. Completely closed or slightly open, where you just see light but cannot make distinct shapes. Halfway open, gazing downward, not looking at any specific object, but looking at the space, or looking straight ahead. Whatever you feel is conducive to enhance the signs that are beginning to arise. That is the position for your eyes. Now let's step on the bridge. Simply bring attention to the breath. As you breathe in, you know you are breathing in. As you breathe out, you know you are breathing out. You're not controlling the in-breath. You're not controlling the out-breath. You're simply observing it. And notice also in the breath, the appearance of the signs, a sense of calming taking place in the breath, a sense of pleasantness, a sense of distinctive knowing this is breathing, a vividness concerning your awareness of the breath, and the mind sort of falling into a groove, falling into a one point, not being forced, but gladly, effortlessly collecting itself. Now we are at the very last part of the bridge. We're about to enter fully into the meditative state, and we do that with a will, and to help that will, that commitment to fully enter, we can also engage a full conscious breath. If you're going to do the breath, do it now. Inhale, hold, getting ready to completely release and step off and be in the meditative state. Let go. And let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go in the body, let go in the breath, let go in the mind, let go, let go, let go, let go. And stay where you've reached at the end of that breath. Stay there while you breathe in. Stay there, stay there. Stay in that more enhanced calm, stay in that more enhanced pleasantness, stay in that more enhanced clarity, radiance, that more intense, more enhanced collection of attention. Enjoy it, rejoice. Make contact with that part of you that has been guiding you, that is guiding you, that will continue to guide you. Feeling its presence in a space in front of you at the level of your eyebrows. When you're ready, it appears outside of you. And when you overcome attachment to inner and outer, it takes you into transcendence, beyond inner, beyond outer, including both. Feel great respect for that part of you that knows exactly how to guide you to your ultimate potential. Trust and be grateful. and allow yourself to align with that potential, that opportunity that is within every moment. Every moment, there's the opportunity to encounter that experience that will transform you in the most meaningful way. Be open to it. With the desire to not be separated from this guide, we turn our attention towards this guide in front of us, invited to come to the crown of our heads and feel energetically the movement of that presence from the space in front of you to the crown of your head. Relax. And once you feel that presence energetically at the crown of your head, whatever obstacles you encounter, allow yourself to be free of them. Whatever qualities you need to help you on your quest, allow yourself to be filled with them, coming from that presence above your head. Completely relax as much as you can as you see that happening, feel that happening. And when you're ready, bring that presence now from the crown of your head and try to also continue to feel the movement in an energetic way, moving from the crown of your head down through the central channel and entering the very center of your heart. And feel confident that this presence is always with you. And feel its radiating presence filling your entire being, physically, the whole body, energetically, your mind, your emotions. So wherever you find yourself in your being, it is there, present, waiting for you, ready for you. turn your attention to the class that we are going to have, and hope that your own teacher will teach you what you need for where you are in your life through these teachings, through these conversations. Okay, get ready. Bring your attention back to the signs of being in meditation. The calm, the pleasantness, the experiences pointing to clarity and radiance and focus, whether they are physical, energetic, emotional, mental. Notice them rest joyfully in their space. Make the intention to come out of the meditation, step on the bridge, take a nice deep breath, and breathe out. And deliberately be in the space where you are. Deliberately be aware of the different sounds, the different lights, different shadows, the different colors, and the different touches. Wow. I guess that's how we're supposed to do it. That was 15 minutes. Okay. All right. And I have to say, even though dream is something that we all do and we do it naturally, we don't need someone to teach us how to dream as from a point of view, from the perspective of, oh, I've never dreamt before, can you teach me how to dream, kind of in that kind of way. Even though it feels that natural to us, yet as a yoga, as a practice, dream yoga is not taught from the very beginning to anyone. You have to have done some preliminary practices first before you're taught dream yoga. Because remember, the ultimate aim of dream yoga is to deliberately experience continuity of consciousness, continuity of awareness, where we do not experience normally throughout the day, and especially during sleep, we experience sharp discontinuities of consciousness, discontinuities of awareness. That is, something is happening now, there isn't a sense of continuity of how we got there. And this happens especially when we are in regular dream. You are laying down on your bed, it's night where you are, and all of a sudden you find yourself walking and it's daylight and you're on the bus or something, or you're driving, and there's no questioning, how did I get here? Because the continuity has been cut. Then there's full acceptance that, yeah, I'm in a car, I'm driving, and we're having emotional, all kinds of reactions to driving or to whatever it is that we find ourselves doing in the dream. Or sometimes you might even find ourselves being completely different. I don't know if you have had dreams where you are completely appearing in a completely different way, and there's no questioning it. Like, I used to be a monk. I had bald head, shaved head all the time, and I would dream I have long hair, and then something would happen to my long hair. I would say, oh, what happened to my long hair? Am I shampooing it correctly? And in reality, I had no hair. And yet in the dream, I'm completely convinced that I actually have very long hair. Okay. So things like that. So the main thing, and the reason for the continuity of consciousness, and it's not just so that when you are dreaming, you will know, oh, I'm actually lying on my bed. But for that moment, for that big moment where consciousness will be completely severed and there's no going back. And we want that continuity you want the practice of continuity to be present, especially there. I'm sure you've heard a lot. I mean, supposed to be about dream yoga, but all these things are somewhat connected. People who've had near-death experiences, and most of them talk about having incredible, beautiful experiences, and almost makes it inviting to let me go into death, because it's a beautiful experience, right? Why continue this misery when there's this beautiful experience waiting for you? But that is the beginning phase of the transformation, of the transition. It's almost like something is inviting you, and something wants you to participate in consciously entering into the space that you're being invited to. So the experience is extremely beautiful, it's attractive, and you're interested in it, and you want to go deeper and deeper into it, until there's the moment where there's no going back. And of course, all these, of course, are happening from our own reservoir of experiences. It's not like every single sentient, every single being who goes through that process have exact experience, but there's a general experience. In the beginning, it's very beautiful, very blissful. And the reason that it's very blissful is because you are entering and experiencing subtle levels of consciousness. And it is it's part of the experience of subtle consciousnesses that they are ecstatic, they are blissful. And depending on who you are, you may need to sort of like how do you say, to sort of seal the experience, the pleasant experience. You may find yourself having some sort of a visionary experience where the vision sort of enhances the pleasant experience. You're in a beautiful place, you're encountering beautiful people, all your senses are being engaged to have a very pleasant experience. So that's why in meditation, especially for those who are serious about meditation, and there's a warning: beware of the bliss. Okay, beware of the bliss. And some people, unfortunately, take that warning too early. Then when they start having little pleasant experiences, they say, "Oh my God, this is the bliss I'm supposed to be supposed to be aware of. Let me not have a blissful experience. Let me not have a blissful experience." And they even go to the teacher. "Oh, teacher, I've had some bad experiences in my meditation. I had some bliss. How do I stop the bliss?" But remember, all that are just signs that you are on the right path, that subtle consciousnesses are awakening, and less and grosser consciousnesses are being experiencing dormancy. And that's what's happening during the sleep, also during the sleep phase. Subtle consciousnesses are arising, and more gross consciousnesses are being dormant. Like the consciousness, for example, that is aware of outside experiences. You're hearing things outside, the sense of touch and everything connected to the sense of to the gross senses that can connect you to experiences of outside. All these are going to sleep, are becoming dormant. And that's why when someone is asleep, and if their eyes are closed and you open it, they don't suddenly come to see. They don't see anything. And you can actually make yourself witness this, where you actually have keep a tiny measure of energy for being able to move your eyelids while you are in a complete, when you have withdrawn, you could say, the consciousness or the energy that allows for vision. And with your eyes completely open, you see absolutely nothing. You can have that experience for yourself, where you're witnessing the withdrawal of the senses, it's called. So withdrawal of senses occurs when you go to sleep, it occurs in the very ecstatic moments or very strong emotional experiences. And of course, they occur during meditation, and they occur, and that's what definitely happens at death. So meditation and sleeping can become means to become familiar with these experiences, so that when the big moment, the inevitable moment comes, we are able to encounter it and experience it the same way that we would our dream, that we would in our meditation. Okay. Now, we talked a little bit about some of the techniques to be able to achieve this continuity. And quickly, there are things we should be doing during the day before we go to sleep. There are things we should be doing at the moment that as we are falling asleep. And there are things that we should be doing once we wake up. Okay. And if you're able to maintain continuity from waking into the dream, which is that's one of the aims of the practice, then what do you do in that state? Okay. So in the beginning, what we have to focus on are those three. What do I do before, during the day? What do I do as I am preparing myself to fall asleep? And then what do I do when I wake up? Okay. And if we prepare those and we focus on those nicely, then we'll be able to do the fourth one. What do we do when we are in the actual experience of sleeping, dreaming, and even deep sleep? There are some people who are even able to maintain continuity of awareness in deep sleep, where discriminating awareness, the gross aspect of it, is completely withdrawn. And everything that is familiar to you is just not present, because the mind, the consciousness that can evaluate them is just not there. Okay. And what's the purpose of awakening these subtle levels of consciousness? They are powerful means to actually practice. Okay. That's the reason we deliberately seek to awaken subtle consciousnesses as we are meditating. And that's the reason why, even though I have not seen this as a definition for meditation, but no one will disagree with me who's meditating. What is happening that we are calling meditation? It is a practice where we are accessing and abiding in ever more subtle levels of consciousness. That's what's happening. Okay. It may not be directly defined that way, but that's what's happening. And that's what we are seeking to do when we are meditating. So consider sleep to be a kind of, during the day or the morning, the evening, whenever you decide to meditate, you have a choice. You can decide not to meditate. But sleep is not something that you can decide, okay, I'm not going to sleep tonight. I mean, you can try. Sleep will just come and knock you out, and you don't even know that it knocked you out. When you're trying very hard to not sleep, and you're very sleepy, and you're pretending not to be asleep. I know I've witnessed myself do that a lot. And you're asleep, and you absolutely convinced you're not asleep. And you're having a conversation with someone. Sorry if I've done that to other people, some of you. You're having a conversation with someone, and the last time you were aware, you were about to say, I am, and then a long time passes by, you say I, nothing happens, you're silent, and all of a sudden, in between the am, to say the am, you were dreaming about, I don't know, ice cream, and you come out and say, oh yeah, the ice cream. So you never had that experience? Well, anyway, sleep is something that, consider sleep to be like a meditation session, an opportunity to meditate, where you have no choice but to meditate. Okay, so bring mindfulness and awareness into that experience. experience. Okay, so that you can deliberately witness what naturally happens every night. Subtle awarenesses, subtle consciousnesses are awakened. Okay. All right. So the things that we do during the day is to remind ourselves that give ourselves indications, and even question yourself every once in a while. Is this a dream? And then prove it to yourself that it's not a dream. Was I laying on my bed a moment ago, and then now I'm seeing myself here? So this, doing that habit, because because what do we do doing what are the first dreams that we have? Simply regurgitate the things that we do during the day. So if during the day what we are doing is questioning, is this a dream? We are going to find ourselves dreaming about questioning, is this a dream? Okay, so that will help. And that's the very big important thing. And there are some other kinds of things that we need to do, like with the mirror. And if you're with a partner, deliberately witness yourself being praised and not reacting, witness yourself being criticized and not reacting, and then criticizing someone without being attached to criticizing them, and praising them without being attached to so just basically witnessing something that's supposed to be how do you say, invocative of strong emotion, and not reacting. So that way, when we're having dreams and they're strong, they're invoking strong emotions, we're able to maintain a perspective of observing the dream rather than being swept by it and completely be convinced that it's actually happening. Okay. So, and then at the moment, so you've done that throughout the day. You made the prayer, I'm going to be aware of my dream. So now when you're actually laying down, remember what I said last time, there are guidelines that are given as well as how the posture should be. The lion posture, lying on your side with your hand. And then there's even a posture where you're blocking one of the nostrils as you fall asleep. And this way, by blocking the nostril, it is said to be you're blocking the channel that would sort of act as an obstacle for you to be able to maintain lucidity. Okay, so there's that. But really try that for a while, and then begin to experiment for yourself. Now, there's one thing I have to say about that, the posture that you take as you fall asleep. Make sure there isn't any hard pressure in the back of the head. Not that you know something awful is going to happen, but when you press against, there's some sort of some nerve, something like that over there. When you press it, when you're trying to come out of sleep, you may find yourself, it will take a considerable length of time for you to actually reconnect with your body. You may find yourself just lying in bed and not being able to move. There's a slight paralysis that takes place. So make sure that you don't have hard pressure in that back of your neck. And if that's something you want to experience, make a fist or something on the back of your neck, okay? And fall asleep that way. And then witness yourself waking up and not being able to move your body, okay? Don't freak out, okay? You didn't die and then you're stuck in your body, okay? All right. But the main thing is to experiment to see what posture actually helps you. What helps you to do what? Helps you to maintain continuity of awareness. And one of the things that sort of helps is like a bridge, is to recite something that you do, almost like you're repeating, you're deliberately engaging in a habit during the day that automatically, that's what dreams does. That's what they do. They repeat things during the day that will be naturally carried in the dream. So in this, in the same way, that with that same sort of understanding, you're reciting something. Like if you have a mantra, recite the mantra, keep reciting it, and deliberately recite it in a way where you are witnessing yourself reciting it. Okay, like almost as if you're hearing it, it's coming from somewhere else. That will act like a thread connecting those two realms together. Okay. All right. And also, this is from Jimba, who is I call the Dream Master. He said, have a half cup of water next to you. Okay. And either before you fall asleep, you drink it, or if you wake up in the middle of the night, you drink it. Okay. I don't know, this might be some mumbo jumbo kind of thing, but this is from Jimba. And Jimba doesn't talk about mumbo jumbo stuff that he hasn't himself experimented with and experienced. Okay. And as you lay down, there are different visualizations that you can do. And the visualization is it's holding on to something that will be like a thread to connect you from the waking state to the dream state. Okay. All right. So one of them is to visualize the letter, remember, a red letter A in your throat. Okay. And depending and in the manual, of course, depending on the kind of sleep you want, if you want a vivid dream or if you want just deep sleep, and you will focus on different parts, on different parts. But since this is about dream, then you would or red A in the throat. Okay. And just keep visualizing. And then what do you do if you are like me, your what's called that? Visualization blind. Like ask me to visualize the letter A, and it's really me saying to myself, I am seeing the letter A. I am seeing the letter A. I am seeing the letter A. That's what seeing the letter A is to me, just those words. There isn't really a seeing of anything. In the beginning, it was mostly like that. So you can do just that. If you are not able to actually see like the way you see with your eyes, okay? But or more, I would say, better. The better way of explaining the visualization is the way images appear in dreams. Okay, your eyes are closed and they have the vivid colors and vivid shapes in front of you. They're appearing. Your mind is creating them. So somehow when you're visualizing, you tap into that power of being able to create and recreate images. Okay, so that's what you're doing, and you actually see a glowing red letter A in the throat. Okay, and that's supposed to help with the continuity of consciousness. And also it raises energy to that point that facilitates bardo, or in-between awareness of the in-between. And dream is also called, the dream state is called the bardo of life. There are many in-betweens, and dream is the big in-between is after death, before your rebirth. That's the big in-between. And there are many in-betweens that we experience daily where the sleep state itself is an in-between state. So just like death is an opportunity to awaken, so sleep also is an opportunity to awaken, because subtle consciousness is awakened at those times. Okay, and as you are falling asleep, and if you manage to maintain a degree of continuity, you will begin to experience what they refer to as the dissolution of the elements. This happens in a big way at death, and this happens in a small way every night. Every night you fall asleep. You could say the very reason, and you can use your own scientific language to explain it, but there's the experience. As we fall asleep, there's no awareness of the physical body anymore. Okay? This is what is referred to as the dissolution of the elements. Okay? So it's not some mumbo jumbo thing that can only be subjectively experienced known by some people who have imaginations. This is something that everyone experiences. As you fall asleep, There's a point where you are aware of your body, and there's a point where you're not aware of that body anymore. And this is pointed to as the dissolution of the elements. Science, modern science may have their own ways of explaining it, but it's just explaining something that we all experience, okay? So, and there are various experiences that we go through as the various experiences that we go through. And these experiences are referred to, oh, that's the earth element dissolving. That's the water element dissolving. That's the fire element dissolving. That's the air element dissolving, okay? And so on and so forth, okay? And eventually, we are aware of just we are aware of ourselves. We are aware of ourselves totally as a mental entity. And when and for us in the beginning, we will go back and forth. Like we are aware of the earth element. Look at that, the earth element. I'm aware that's the earth element dissolving. And then the very awareness of it takes us away from the experience. Ah, there it goes. Okay. And not there it goes that it actually went through its full what do you call it? The entire let's say we're supposed to go from point A to point D. As it was about to reach point D to be completely withdrawn, our awareness of it, because awareness brings energy, we sort of disrupt our very awareness disrupts the experience, and we find ourselves back at A. And you will find yourself going through this experience every night. If you maintain continuity enough, well, for the most part, you will have the intention, I'm gonna be aware of my dream. I'm gonna be aware of the process that goes on. And then the next awareness you have, oh, I fell asleep. I fell asleep. It's time for you to wake up. There was no awareness of continuity of anything whatsoever. You barely are able to remember your dreams, okay? So that's part of the process. The thing is to be determined and continue to do that. Slightly not connected, but somewhat connected. I was watching this guy, this Muay Thai master, but kind of young, you know, and he was basically breaking trees with his bare legs, right? Breaking trees with his bare legs. I mean, kicking it and kicking it until the tree is broken. So, I mean, it's not like he went through a training where he replaced his skin with iron. It's the same skin, but somehow the skin was trained and willed to encounter the tree in such a way where the skin, almost as if the skin tells itself, this is not something that breaks me. Okay. So, but before he was able to do that, the first time I'm sure he tried to kick the tree, it was extremely painful and his skin broke. Okay. So, but eventually with determination, with will, eventually the same skin, or, you know, the same guy no longer has skin that breaks when he breaks a tree, basically, with his foot. Okay. And it's that part of your foot that actually hurts, you know, that you know, when you bang that part, when you bang your foot, that part, which is very sensitive, that's what he was using to break the tree. So I don't know how this is connected, but in my mind, for you, they're connected. For you, they may have no connection whatsoever. Why did he bring that example? I don't see what this has to do with what with what he was talking about before. But somehow in my mind, they're connected. And it's a matter of willing it, okay? With your will, you can change the very, I would say the very memory of even your cells. Like the cell of the skin had a memory. I'm fragile. I'm fragile. Don't throw me so hard against that wood. And then with that memory, with that conviction, it breaks. And eventually, with will, the same group of cells are somehow able, that doesn't break me. And it doesn't get broken. Okay. So with will, even though you have the intention, that's the very beginning. I'm going to be lucid. I'm going to be aware of all the stages. And then you wake up and then it's morning already and you don't remember anything. You don't even remember when you have fell asleep. Okay. So that's part of the practice. Just know that it's part of the practice. And you have, so in a sense, what you're training is you're training the muscle of your will. So that the same mind, so to speak, which is not able to maintain continuity, somehow is able to maintain continuity later. So as you're maintaining continuity, and what the first level of continuity that you're maintaining, you to be experience is the dissolution of the elements. Feeling the body and going through various experiences where you feel your body heavy, feel your body cold, feel your body hot, feel your body heavy, feel your body light. Okay, you will go through those various experiences, and there will be a time you feel your body so heavy that it actually like it's like weighs tons, and you feel like it's gonna go through the mattress, even though you've done this every night and the mattress has held you, but the experience will be so convincing. You'll be convinced that your body's gonna go through the mattress. Eventually, you're able to maintain continuity doing that. This happens every night. Remember, it's not just because you're deciding to maintain continuity, then these experiences start to take place. They happen every night. It's just now you're aware of them. Okay. So then there's this physical experiences, and now the what you might call the energetic experiences come next. Okay. And I'm saying come next. You could have, you're completely unaware of what's happening with the physical body, but somehow you're more aware of what's happening energetically, almost as if you seem to have skipped. You've gone straight into the energetic experiences. So that could be a possibility. Okay. So the physical body and then the energetic experiences. And when it comes to the energetic experiences, that's where you will start, you may freak out a little bit. Okay. You may suddenly find yourself, your body as if it is plugged into an electric socket. You feel electrical current moving throughout your body. So what do? You're aware of it. What happens when you become aware of it? You disrupt the thing, and then you go to the stage before that. But eventually you're able to just witness it. For some people, it may seem to last a very long time. For some others, it would just like something that happens in a split moment. Exactly how long does it last? It's completely relative. This is where the word relative is very absolute. This is totally a relative experience. Okay, it could have been something that lasted 1 hour. Don't worry, it doesn't last an hour. I'm exaggerating. And then for you, it felt like it lasted a second. Or it could be something that actually lasted a second, but it felt for you like it's lasting an hour. Okay. So what you might call if there's such a thing, the physical time, it's completely irrelevant, because what's more important is the inner experience of it. Okay. And don't compare it to see whether it's real or not. That's what the whole practice of the dream is about, to break down the barrier of what's real and what's not real. And what we thought was real is really not real, kind of thing, or the way we think it is real. Okay, that's the philosophical aim of the dream yoga, to arrive at that understanding and to actually experience it. So there's the energetic, and then now comes what you might call the cognitive. And again, You could jump into being aware of the cognitive experience without being aware of anything before that. And it could be that you're aware of one of them, but your awareness of them somehow cuts you from being able to be aware of the rest of them. Like you're only aware of the dissolution experiences, and then you find yourself waking up. Or you're aware of the energetic experience, and then you find yourself waking up, okay? Or you find yourself experience the cognitive experiences, or this is where the consciousness, the subtle consciousnesses are beginning to be awake. I mean, they started to awaken already. That's why you were aware of the earth elements dissolving, because you had a more subtle consciousness that is capable of being aware of that. That's what woke up. Okay, that's why you were aware of that. And a more subtle consciousness was awakened that is able to be capable of being aware of energetic experiences. That's why you're aware of energetic experiences. Now, a more subtle consciousness is now present, and that's why you're now aware of what you might call the cognitive experiences. And with the cognitive experiences, and they could overlay each other. Okay, the cognitive, the energetic, and then the the physical, the energetic, and the cognitive. They can overlay each other. Okay, so with the cognitive experiences, you may begin to it's like you are okay, yeah. It begins with the mind. It's I have to explain it this way. It's like the mind is so used to being stimulated, that is receiving data through the senses, because we spend most of our time receiving data through the senses. And now there are no more data being registered. So the part of the mind that registered and interact with data is dormant. But there is the habit that, wait a minute, existence is processing data. And the data that we are familiar with are data coming from the senses. So it's almost as if the mind says, there's something wrong here. There's no data. So since there is no data, we're going to create data. That's what you start to have now. Not in the meaning of like, something is wrong with you kind of meaning, but we start to hallucinate. When I say hallucinate, I mean the mind recreating experiences, recreating sounds, recreating visions, recreating things that we are usually would experience with our senses. And the reason for that is the habit and the conviction that I'm supposed to process data. There's no data. Okay, we got to create our own to process. And this is where we sort of get caught up in this. And if you're able to, your eyes are closed, you've gone through the experiences where there was a withdrawal of your senses, you should not be seeing, you should not be hearing, but there you are seeing and hearing. So tell yourself, my mind is creating these things, no matter how compelling they are. Remind yourself that my mind is creating this because it feels it needs data to process. And if it's not getting it from outside, it's going to make its own. Okay? And eventually this data creating so that we can process data becomes dream, where we create an entire realm, an entire environment, entire personality even for us to process. Okay. And of course, all these have these psychological things connected to them as to why that color, why that. But in the beginning, don't concern yourself with, why am I seeing purple? I saw a purple mouse. Why did I see a purple mouse? Don't worry too much about that. Okay. It's almost as if it's, I would say, almost random. Yes, it's deliberate, but you're not at the stage right now where the deliberateness of it will be have any meaning for you. Okay. So just for your own sake, so you can continue, like you're just in the beginning of the road. So don't waste your time, blaming a whole life on the first step where you have 10,000 steps to go. Okay. Yeah. Be aware of this step. Oh yeah, that's what's happening. And I believe this is, also, this is what happens as you dream. I mean, not as you dream, as you meditate. All of a sudden, you're flooded with images, you're sort of with experiences, almost as if it feels like you're falling asleep. It feels like you're dreaming while you're meditating. Don't get caught up with the images. Don't get caught up with them. Actually, that's a very good sign that subtle consciousnesses have awakened and they are recreating data to process. Okay. And if the data is interesting enough, that's what helps with focus. If the data is not interesting, then unfortunately we go into distraction. Okay. So we begin to have visions, and sometimes they're very distinct. Sometimes they have no shape whatsoever. It's just colors, shapes, things like that, flashes of light, things like that. Okay, all those are signs that we have awakened, we have maintained continuity of awareness into a more subtle consciousness, and then there's more to come. Okay, now, so that's the cognitive experiences that you will have. Now, then come the actual transition because we go through that experience and then we go to a state of unconsciousness, of unawareness, and then dream begins. Okay. So if you suddenly find yourself in a different place, in a dream state, know that you went through the unconscious state already. And how come you were not aware? Because that's the name of it. It's unconscious state. Okay. If you maintain awareness, you then go to that unconscious state. Okay. But there are very deep meditative states where you can have something that can be called an awareness of that. But for now, it just feels like you were knocked out. Okay. There's one, this is the, and of course you want to maintain continuity. And when the dream, somewhere in the dream, in the beginning, you will have the dream, and maybe towards the end or somewhere they say, oh, that was a dream. I missed the opportunity. That's part of the experience. To be able to maintain continuity of awareness in the dream, that is to have lucid dreaming. Actually, that movie, what was it called? About dreams and going to somebody's dream and to steal something or plant something. I forget the name of that movie.
Inception.
Oh. Yes, that one. Yeah. Whoever produced that, they did real research into actual dream, what happens in dreams. A lot of the things that they were describing, they are completely true. You can actually have something you take as a token. So during the day, for example, what would help me suddenly wake up in the dream to know that, oh, this is a dream, is that during the day, I would say, if I see this in the dream, that will automatically tell me that I'm dreaming. So you can have, I think in the Inception movie, they call it the token or something. Not that it's in the Tibetan manuscripts about dream yoga, there's a word that says, oh, make sure you have a token. Okay. But that is something while during the day, you say, if I see this, it means I'm dreaming. Like, for example, when you are seeking to be aware of your dream, lucidity, use whatever explanation you want to explain the experience. You encounter people who have passed away.
Yes.
So when you encounter people who have passed away, that tells you, that should be an indication for you, I must be dreaming because this person passed away already. Okay, so you can consider either the person themselves, because they're in a state where they can enter your dream, that they deliberately chose to enter your dream so to help you, especially when you're trying to gain lucidity in the dream. You can believe that, or you cannot believe that. It doesn't really matter. The thing is, when you're dreaming of someone who passed away, that's a clear indication that you're dreaming. And you can make that into an indicator for you so that you can awake in your, so you can be awake that you are, look, I am dreaming. In the beginning, when you begin to have that awakeness, it happens towards the end, it happens towards the middle, but as soon as you have it, the very awareness of it shuts the dream down. You find yourself, you either wake up, or another dream, or you go into an unconsciousness and another dream begins. Now, this is the key. The key of continuity of awareness is to actually witness the dream beginning. And it's the weirdest thing. And it's connected to the experience where the mind is recreating data. If you at first the data is just, confused and chaos. It's just nothing definite. And somehow it collects itself, and then it becomes something specific, an environment somewhere, and you have a personality. So to actually witness that would take place, that would be so like almost like really mastering dream lucidity. At first, just try to have lucidity. So we're talking about the practice now before waking up, right? That's where we are. And some of the experiences that you may have that gives you you need the confidence that you're doing what you're having the experience that is actually leading to what you're seeking to experience. Okay. So when you are witnessing yourself having these experiences, rejoice, but don't rejoice too much that the joy kicks you out of the experience, but you say, oh, that's good, and just enjoy it. Let it continue. Okay. And there will be moments where you have this experience and it jumps to that experience and everything in between is completely blank. So that's okay. Don't discourage yourself. So you want to be able to lie down, make the decision to be lucid, witness the dissolutions take place enough physically until you are witnessing yourself not able to be aware of your body. Don't freak out. And then you are aware of your body again, but it's not really the same body. And this is what they refer to as the dream body. You find yourself in the dream body. That is, you find yourself somewhat in a physical, you're in something that feels like it's physical. But if you were to actually look at it, you will not be able to witness anything. Okay. And if you want to if you want to try it, and don't freak out when that happens. When you're in that body, find yourself in that body, you are still in the bed, your dream hasn't started yet. Try to move that body, exercise in that body. Feel yourself raising your arm, and then feel your arm actually existing in two different places. You feel your arm, arm on the bed, and then you feel your arm being raised. You feel as if your eyes are open, as if you can see, and you bring your arm to your face and you don't see anything. Don't freak out. Okay. And this is the body, for those of you who know what I'm saying, that's the body that becomes the illusory body. That's the body that eventually transforms at enlightenment into your infinite possibility of manifestation, of appearances. Okay. So it is a body that is more of a potential for a form. It's a form, potential form, if that makes sense to you. It's a form that doesn't have a definite form, but it's a potential for appearing in any form. All right? That's why you're able, they say you see yourself in appearing, like me, for example, when I was shaving my head every day, and yet I felt and saw hair, long hair. Okay. It's that form that is potential for form, but is not an actual form, definite form. Okay. So there's that experience. There's a continuity, you're aware. And this is just the beginning. The next phase now, when I say the beginning, is all you need to do in the beginning is achieve lucidity. And all these experiences will accompany you. And when you're in that dream body, there will be a sense that I can actually get into this body consciously and walk around my room while my other body is on the bed. And you can experience that. Now, since this is connected to a subtle consciousness that creates data, you may find yourself exactly in your room, but there's something not quite the same. But it is your room, but it's not your room. Okay. All right. So after you've done that kind of exercise, now the exercise now is try to change, is to deliberately engage that part of the mind, that part of consciousness that actually creates the data. Instead of you receiving data that you're, oh, look at me, I am in this environment, you deliberately create the environment that you want to be in. That's the later stage. It's called controlling the dream. And after and this can happen where you're having a nightmare and then all of a sudden you're aware that, oh, this is a dream, and you stay dreaming and you tell yourself, okay, nightmare is gone, now I'm having a different dream. Okay, and then you recreate a different dream. All right, these are more of the things that I would say psychologists will agree on, and there are some other things that psychologists will not agree with. Okay. Lama Zopa, for example, when he talked about his mastery of dream yoga, he said he used it to study. He would go during the day, he goes to the library, open the book to a section that he needs to study, and leave it open that way. Because as you will find out, you cannot turn the page in your dream body. Okay. So he leave it out there, and then and then he goes to sleep, and then he goes to the library and then studies that. And then was able to debate the topic that was in the text while he was awake. Okay. So you can use that time to also visit different places. Physically visit a different country, or by physically visit, I mean visit a physical place. I mean, like I wonder what Jenna is doing, and you actually take yourself to where Jenna is, and you see what Jenna is doing. Okay, all this is, like I said, psychologists will not agree with these things, but these are the things that people who've had these experiences say they've experienced. So you can visit what are called pure lands, places where you can receive teachings, specific instructions. Okay, and that's the good side. Remember, When you're about to die, there's the first experience is very nice. And there could also be some unpleasant experiences. I think someone last time was started to talk about that, something like that. Now that you're in this kind of realm, you can encounter other entities. And some of them are very benevolent and some of them not so benevolent. And the way to deal with that is to protect yourself. So protect yourself before you go in. And the way you protect yourself is with if you have a lama or guru, that will be very helpful, most powerful protection. And what is lama, what is guru? It is that enlightened part of you that is appearing, that taking an outer appearance for you, okay? Or for some, it's probably still, you have a strong connection with it from within, okay? All right. These are the things that psychologists will not agree with, but so, I have to end. The very last thing I'll say is this, somewhat interpretations now, okay? When you are, remember, the dream will definitely recreate what's happening, what you are accustoming yourself with during the day. If you're accustoming yourself with holy things, with decent, with meaningful things, your dreams will be meaningful. If you, that will be, that's like interpretation 101. How do you determine whether your dreams are meaningful or not? Are you doing meaningful things? Are you engaging your mind with meaningful things during the day? Then that will make the dreams will be meaningful, worthy of interpretation, worthy of sitting down and trying to figure them out. But if you are mindless during the day, it's just meaningless content that we are encountering. Okay, that's 101. Now, when you are deliberately doing, deliberately trying to do meaningful things during the day, then there are signs in the dream that will tell you very general, good, it's like a pat, the good work, keep going, okay? And there's might be, and what are those things? If you're if you're getting rid of stuff, you may find yourself getting rid of ugly things in the dream, in whatever way, getting rid of ugly words, getting rid of ugly things from your body, getting rid of ugly energy, or you may find yourself surrounded by very pure things. These are signs that, good, keep doing what you're doing, okay? That's a kind of interpretation for dreams. Now, for specific contents of dreams, like when you dream of a snake, what does it mean? Like I said before, it depends on what you yourself, what it means for you deeply, okay? For some people, it's a wonderful thing to see a snake bite you in a dream. For someone else, it may not be a good thing to see a snake bite you, okay? So there is no general interpretation that can be did for that. And the only way for you to find out what's the meaning for you is for you to be connected to your own sense of self and allow your intuition to guide you as to what the meaning should be for you. If there is a message. If there's a message, it is said the message will come, usually the dream before you wake up. That's the dream that's worthy of being interpreted if the dream needs interpretation, okay? And the very, 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 very last thing I'm going to say is what the psychologists will agree. Actually, this is from a study by a dream scientist. Yes, there are dream scientists. There are scientists who study dream and sleep. Interestingly enough, what this scientist discovered is that there's a phase in sleep, and you need a certain period of sleep before you get to that phase. Not everyone goes to it. That is, you must be relaxed enough. You must be sleep. You must have allowed enough time for this to happen. And then exactly at that moment, at the witness, there is something that is almost unnoticeable in the brain that eventually just grows, enlarges. And then it sends, it's like it sends hormones throughout the body. And what this does is actually repairs the body. So if we allow ourselves to go through that stage naturally, the body will repair itself. And we're not talking about repairing things that are easy to repair. We're talking about repairing no matter what. If we allow that to, that state to happen, it can repair our. It's like the body's. It's like the memory in the body is that it must be healthy. It must be capable all the time. And whatever is preventing that from happening, the mind must be sharp. There is this thing wakes up, grows, almost imperceptible, and it becomes very big, almost like 1,000 times its size. And it sends hormones throughout the body, and it's repairing. And then it shrinks back again after the time has elapsed. And if we allow ourselves, we can have that experience. Now, the interesting thing about that, when I encountered that, I said, whoa, that looks like the meditation we do all the time. So these yogis, scientists, discovered this with however they were able to discover that you can actually stimulate this. You don't actually necessarily have to be in sleep. That's why yogis don't need sleep after a certain amount of time, because the meditation itself is stimulating this thing where the body is sort of replenished and recovers itself. Okay. Now imagine achieving the state of awareness, lucidity, where you are aware of this happening. You probably will experience your subconscious mind may interpret the experience, instead of seeing or sense some big thing in your brain, it might see Avalokiteshvara. It might see Avalokiteshvara shining on you and sending light rays on you. Okay, instead of seeing the hormones. Okay, and you feel, oh, this is so blissful. I'm being blessed by Avalokiteshvara. Okay, if that was confusing, I'm happy. And that's it. That was the last thing, and that was the truth. That was the last thing. Again, I didn't go too much into the psychological aspect of it, but a tiny little bit, because as I said, if you're not serious about taking conscious control of your life, interpreting your dream is meaningless. Okay. Might as well ask, what color should the toilet seat be? And have an hour conference about what the color is. Okay. All right. All right. So it's late. I don't know if anybody has any question.
Yeah, let's open it up. We have a few minutes left.
Yeah.
I know if no one.
It's relative. It's relative.
So I have a question. So how's different than shape-shifting?
Actually, this is connected to shifting. There are cultures that refer to this practice as ship. For some reason, I can't say it. You know that word I can't quite say. Shifting. Okay, well, I don't know.
Shifting.
Somebody came in and stole it from my mind. I can't say it. That there are cultures that's how they refer to that practice. Okay, especially the so you can see why they call it that. From that explanation, we have a form that is already within us that we encounter during sleep, which is really a potential for other kinds of forms. Okay, so yeah.
And so the other part of that is that I experienced probably more when I was younger, dreams, and then they would come real in the sense that I knew the distinction of them being a dream, but then there would be a particular word or a particular action, and then that would let me know that I'd had this dream, like I had been here, like what they call deja vu. But I've had a lot of dreams that have come true. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, yeah, that is an experience, a phenomena that happens with dreams. There are certain dreams that are prophetic, where remember you've awakened a subtle consciousness. What makes it subtle? It is aware of subtle phenomena. What are subtle phenomena? It's not just physical phenomena itself is subtle. Time is subtle. It can experience time in a completely different way than a gross consciousness experiences it. Okay, so that's what we might call prophetic, you could say. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Phuntsok, can you speak to, at least in my mind, sometimes I can think, gosh, like, I just want to go to sleep and turn to like shut off and shut down and let me just rest and not think about this or go and do stuff in my sleeping time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have a sense that maybe that's a misunderstanding. Like it would be like more work, or like I would be doing more stuff and it would be like tiring to like open this whole world of dreams or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. If you want that time to be okay, I've played during the day. I have no need to continue to play during the night. Then instead of focusing on the throat chakra, for example, you will focus on a different chakra. And then you will find yourself going just into your sleep becomes just deep sleep. Yeah.
But is this sense that like, it's like you would still wake up rested, or would you wake up like
Yeah, you will wake up rested.
I mean,
But
if you were doing lucid dreaming and doing all these practices, you would.
Definitely. Yeah. And there are some times, and we're in the realm of dreams. There are some times when you go to sleep and you are doing what may be called a lot of psychic work, and you wake up very fatigued, even though you may not even be aware that you were even dreaming. So whatever work needs to be done, and to have the what you might call the conscious mind put aside so it can be done, it will be done. And the more we put it, the more we try to deliberately put it aside, we're just piling up work, basically. So you want to be able to let the work that needs to be done take place so that it doesn't pile up for the next day. Yeah. Yeah. All right. How many of you have had, oh, yes, Clarence.
You said there's a way to repair the body.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you have to do to arrive to that?
Have a decent night of sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. It's happening automatically. And if as a yogi, you might want, I mean, yogis are people who are deliberately stimulating these things to happen.
Yeah.
So how to do it? Go into deep meditation.
Okay. When as I go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and do the Vajrasattva. In deep meditation. Okay.
And okay, you say sometime we are in danger and to be protected, we should take an outer appearance. And that happens to me also when I'm in a deep meditation. I live completely my body. I don't feel my body. And I have some beings attacking me or wanting to attack me. So how to protect?
Two answers for that. One is kind of funny, but it's a real answer from somebody who actually experienced those things. One answer is if you find yourself seeking protection in the experience, go towards your inner enlightened self, your inner guru, your inner lama. Okay, go towards that. If that doesn't feel real to you, you need to go towards something that feels real and be able to protect you. That's the one side. The other side of it is, and this is coming from a yogi who's had experiences like that. If all it is just a sense of a presence, then you could just say, you have no power to actually do anything. All you can do is make yourself feel like you're here. That's it. That's what you can do. But if they do more than just make you feel that they're present, but they actually feel like they're interacting with you, that creating responses, creating actions, results within you, then it's going to sound funny, but it's real. The thing to do is that you are in my mind. How do I know you're in my mind? When I open my eyes, you will be gone. Okay. And that's a very profound thing right there. Okay. It's not that in your mind in the way that we would take it like, I'm thinking about chocolate chips, not that kind of in my mind kind of thing. Okay. It's an actual experience and they are actually in your mind. And then the reality is when I open my mind, when I open my eyes, you will not be there. And you have to connect with that truth.
Yeah, a lot of time I open my eyes to get
verify?
out of it.
Okay, to get out of it. Okay, good.
To get out of it or to verify, or and a lot of time I think this is the only reason why I got this physical body. It was a protection.
Okay, there you go. And there's so many different levels, and there could be not that one level is more real than another level, but there are our realities, you could say. If you find yourself able, have a conversation with them. Have a dialogue. Who are you? What do you want?
I'm so scared to see them appearing in front of me then.
And then ask yourself, why are you scared? Have a conversation with yourself then.
Okay.
Have a dialogue with yourself.
Okay. Oh, I see. Thank you. That's very beautiful and genius and profound, as always.
All right. It's time for you to let you go. Thank you very much, everyone, for your patience. Thank you for coming. So we had a different kind of intimacy. Those of you who were here earlier will understand. Okay. All right. So let's do at minus 15 minutes meditation. We're going to meditate backwards in time. All right. Remember how it felt when you're meditating? Connect with that experience. And as soon as you are tasting it, at the very moment you're tasting it, take a nice deep breath, staying connected to it. And as you release, let yourself go into that experience, let yourself go into that experience, let yourself go, feel it physically, feel it energetically, feel it cognitively, let yourself go, go into that measure of conviction that you are in that state. Notice the signs in the body, in the breath. Notice the signs in the mind. Have a sense of us, first beginning with yourself, the us that is you, the arms, the hands, the different parts that make you, and they're all different, and yet they are you. They are multiple, and yet they are one. And we can say us and feel all the different personalities here, the different bodies here in a circle. And just like the different parts of you created us, the different people create us. In the same way, the right hand goes to help the left hand, thinking I'm helping myself. Have that feeling towards one another. And just like in the dream, breaks the barrier of what is real, what is not real. So let this conviction of us break the barrier of me and you, of us. And let the symbol of that conviction appear in the center, a bright light, a bright presence. Growing bigger, growing larger, brighter, as the conviction that everyone here makes a unit called us, this beautiful magic, and let it expand until it reaches the edges of existence, whatever that is for you, the edge of the earth, the edge of the solar system, wherever it feels real to you, relevant to you. And look at this beautiful miracle of the appearance of multiplicity, and yet one. This is us. The ocean is us. The sky is us. The birds are us. The trees, the mountains, the Republicans, the Democrats, the liberals, the fascists, they're all us. And in the same way, the right hand wants to go help the left hand. Let that be the feeling we have towards anyone, anything. Us, us. And now that this is no longer just an idea, no longer just a beautiful thought, but it's an actual conviction, an actual experience, a reality, a truth, then the symbolic appearance is no longer needed. So that big, bright presence begins to shrink in size. And as it shrinks in size, whatever it left, it leaves with a shine until it becomes just that ball of light in the center of our circle. And there's a string of light connecting our hearts to the very center of that ball of light presence in the center of our circle. And through that string of light, it dissolves into us. And as it dissolves, we have this felt conviction. When I sincerely take care of me, I am sincerely taking care of everyone else. And when I sincerely take care of everyone else, I am sincerely taking care of myself. So the boundary is broken. And the greater experience of self is present. And go back to that presence in your heart that dissolves into your heart in the beginning of the meditation. That part of you that knows truth, that will be your guide to tell you, yes, you found truth, this is it. I'm the one who can validate that for you. So whatever truth was revealed to you tonight, give thanks to that part of you. And whatever positive energy, merit you may have received from now, dedicate it to something or to someone or to anything that you sincerely are concerned about. Gyawa di gyawa kun Sönam yeshe tsogzog shin Sönam yeshe lechungwe Damba kunye dobara sho. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. So that was a very extremely relative mind of going backwards 15 minutes. Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
So is it next week that we'll shift by the seashore?
Don't test me. We will shift.
Shape shift.
We will shift.
Shift by the sheep.
By the seashore.
Sure. Yes. That's a good one.
Thank you, Phuntsok.
Thank you very much.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Night, night.